is in Lala, a member of the Los Angeles Lakers.
When we were initially planning our trip to LA, we made it a point to research some of the best Japanese food in all of Los Angeles. Most of our food was in Little Tokyo, also known as the Little Tokyo Historic District, and it's this initially unassuming area of downtown Los Angeles, and it's the heart of the largest Japanese American population in North America. But as you begin to explore the heart of Little Tokyo, you begin to realize what a powerhouse of culture, food, and architecture it really is. It's the largest and most populous of the three only official Japantowns in the United States, all of which are in California, and it was founded at the beginning of the 20th century. It's a cultural center for Japanese Americans in basically all of America, and it was declared a National Landmark District in 1995.
The noodle itself is like really amazing, actually. Like the texture of it. Like it's got this like incredible like crispness, I think. That broth is really flavorful. It's pretty rich. I love like the fact that we apply the lime to the noodle, and that gets like that like nice citrusy bite aftertaste, pretty much. After you slurp up the soup itself, and I think that that's kind of the beauty of the broth in general, is that it's like really thick. Take a look at it. Like you can see the fat like on top of it. You can see like me moving like the fat like this, like that. That's how fatty this thing is. It's honestly really well seasoned and balanced, and I think that it's phenomenal. Yeah, it's like really fucking good. I would say this is like amazing ramen. I have to say, like the texture, the broth. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, yo, the total bite is really fucking good.
The total bite is so fucking
like
good.
just slurping up a shit ton of the noodles.
So good, dude. It's so like nice and hot. Like it's just
like I'm literally just eating like a shit ton of the noodles, then going in for like a spoon of broth and a piece of meat.
It's so good.
We are in Sunset Boulevard, ready to go to Sushi Park. How you feeling, Mochi?
Excited. Yeah.
Excited?
Yeah. I'm actually not super hungry, but I feel like once we start eating sushi, it becomes a different experience.
Gotta drop some cash.
We are gonna drop a lot of money, yeah. Could be a lot. I don't know how much, but it's gonna be a lot.
Sushi Park. Unfortunately, they didn't let us film inside.
They did not.
Thoughts, Raj?
Keep walking. Let's walk a little bit. I've eaten like 10 plus omakases in my life. It's so good, but we had one giant cauldron of short braised beef last night. That was $90 for the three of us. I genuinely think that if you charged me $150 a person for that over this, I would have been swimming in happiness. This was the most pathetic excuse for an omakase meal I've ever experienced in my life, including an omakase meal that I had outside where the meat gets cold, the fish, the rice isn't at optimal temperatures. Considering all of that, fucking trash, dude. This shit was dog shit. How do you fuck up? How the fuck do you fuck up chutoro, otoro, and akami? How do you fuck that up? The fish is unfuckable, but yet somehow they found a way to fuck it in the ass and make it taste like shit. How do you make chutoro? I've never had bluefin tuna that tastes bad. In fact, every time I've had bluefin tuna, a mini mouthgasm takes off. Here, I was like, what the fuck am I eating? Oh my god, it was god awful. I paid $150 for that. What a fucking fun. Wow.
What is this, Rob?
It's a beef bowl. It's a bowl of beef on top of rice, known as Donburi. So beef Donburi. That's what it is. It's like they have a lunch special here, so we pretty much get the thing that they're famous for, which is their Uni Udon. But on top of that, we also get a beef bowl on the side for an extra $3. So definitely down to do that. And let's see how it tastes. Oh, dude, look at this. Look at that. That's nice. Quite a mild flavor, but the tenderness is unreal. It's like very rare to have beef of this quality like fall apart like that. But I would say overall, that the texture is like the big thing. And that's something you've noticed actually a lot on this LA trip, is that texture happens to be the king over a lot of like deep, strong, robust flavors, which is something I'm adapting to, but I've come to appreciate it. So those would be my thoughts. What about yours?
It's like the Korean barbecue meat, like the really, really thinly sliced one.
Yeah.
Like the brisket.
Like brisket.
Yeah, it tastes like
it is
that.
brisket. It probably is brisket.
It probably is brisket. It's got a nice, mild, soft flavor to it. Nice appetizer. In addition, glad that we got it.
Yeah.
Especially for $3, it's a steal.
So we ended up having the Donburi, and then it was a great appetizer. And we also had some chicken karaage as well, which was actually quite nice and tender. I wish they'd seasoned it a little bit more, but outside of that, I thought it was pretty good. And then we transitioned into the main course, which is what we came there for originally, which was the Uni Udon that they had there. It's like this creamy Uni Udon dish that they have there pretty much. And it was, aesthetically, it looked really nice. It was actually kind of stunning. You had like this like really rich looking broth. The udon was like twirled around really nicely. And then they had like this little leaf, and on top of that leaf, they had some salmon roe, or ikura. So all that, the presentation itself was pretty pristine. Then we actually had the food, and I think that the food it was good. I mean, it was good udon, but nothing to really get out of bed for it, if you want me to be honest with you. Like, it was good. I probably wouldn't eat it again. Like, I wouldn't go out of my way to eat it again, but if I'm in Little Tokyo and someone's like, hey, I'm really in the mood for like thick noodles in my mouth, then yeah, I'll recommend them, let's go here. But outside of that, I don't think it's like worth a stop to go to Little Tokyo to eat at this location for that specifically. The flavor profile was kind of interesting. It didn't really have a whole lot of actual flavor in the cream itself of the broth. The udon had a nice like oomph to it, but that's like typical udon. It wasn't like get out of your bed or knock your socks off udon. And then the uni was, I'm not gonna lie, I think it being in like that warm, creamy broth ruins the textural component and the freshness of what uni's about. Uni, when you eat it at a sushi joint or at most other Japanese locations, it's very cold. And it's like, it's put in such a way that when you bite into it, as it enters your mouth, the first thing your tongue experiences is like this like extremely cold and like creamy but a little slimy texture, followed by just like a lot of richness and flavor. And I think that it takes that entire portion out, and it almost has like this, I don't want to say gum, but it has like this kind of texture where you have to kind of like it's like a rubbery texture a little bit after it's like cooked and stuff. And I think that ruins the greatness of what uni's like flavor cap can be. So I think overall, but what really stood out in the dish was the salmon roe. They do give you like a couple pieces of salmon roe, but that, when you mix it in with the uni and have it, boom. Because salmon roe, it just pops in your mouth with like, it's like these little balls of just salmon eggs, and it's just so delicious, and the egg juices just kind of explode in your mouth, and you just take a little bit by bit, and then you eat it with the udon, eat it with some of the uni, and the one thing that stands out is the salmon roe. So that's what I thought I thought that was really great. And then we went to a mochi shop afterwards. We went to a 116-year-old mochi shop, the oldest in LA. And so going into this, my experience with mochi's usually been a lot of like frozen mochi desserts at like, you know, locations in Edison or whatever. And then I've had like real mochi only a very handful of times in my life. And I don't actually remember them being either viscerally good or bad. And then we went to this place. I was really excited. We got like the strawberry and matcha flavors. And then I put them in my mouth and I'm like, yo, what is the hype with all this stuff? Like, the texture is like so whack. It's like, I usually am a fan of like gelatose or gelatin-like textures, but this is too much. I mean, it literally, it like, you're like gnawing at it. You're not gnawing at it. You're like like it's just like it doesn't. It's not great. And like the flavor's kind of not great. It doesn't slap. It's like a slow like strawberry flavor, straw matcha flavor that comes in with each bite. But the texture I think kind of ruins it for me. Like for me, a binary 0-1, I'm never eating. It's a binary 0 for me in terms of whether I would eat mochi as it is. Again, considering the fact that we probably had one of the most authentic, best mochi experiences, and we asked them what the best flavors are, and they said the strawberry and the matcha are some of the most well-known and well-liked by our clientele. So I was like, okay, let's get those. Justin got those, and it just didn't hit it for me, really. I just thought it was okay. I mean, I wouldn't get it again, actually. I didn't think it was okay. I really didn't enjoy the experience overall. But yeah, Little Tokyo. Conversation that Justin was like this earlier.
I'm a New Yorker first, okay? Knicks first, New York always, but damn it, mellow.